What's up on this video?
Welcome back to another fun-filled educational video.
Alright, run it really. Alright, cool.
Finishing the
Most sexiest king snakes, in my honest opinion,
back here in the main snakes. I didn't actually get to the new additions. You know, we've got really parasite flush, no completely fresh substrate. We're talking about this.
Moss and female also took, man. Now, isn't that freaking awesome?
Alright, so now that we're done peening, and breeding the species is 100% the easiest part. Welcome back to another video. Man, it is a mess in here. Really, there's a lot that needs to get sorted out. I don't know if you guys have actually seen the room as of late. Let me quickly show you. But it is chaos. It has exponentially grown like crazy. I mean, behind there is full. The other snake room is full. It's just absolute chaos at the moment. I need to repaint that roof. I mean, that looks pretty bad. But yeah, so excuse the mess, guys. The enclosures are clean. The room, not so much at the moment. But today we're going to be talking about scaleless corn snakes versus normal corn snakes. And I think right off the bat, what we're going to be starting with is a visual comparison of what the genetic actually does. So let's have a look here at what is a normal anery corn snake. So as you guys can see, still really pretty looking, still beautiful to look at, but this is just a plain normal. Technically, she's potentially het for scaleless, but we're going to be looking at the base forms. So this is a normal anery corn snake. Whereas on this side, I've got the scaleless anery corn snake. So take a look at what that really does on the genetics of this animal. So on the genetic makeup, it's just ridiculous what it does to the patterning. I mean, look at that up close. That is absolutely ridiculous looking. Whereas the anery is a lot darker. The patterning is less intense, if that makes sense to a degree, what I'm trying to say. Whereas with the scaleless, it's absolutely ridiculously intense. Now, what are the main things you want to be looking out for when you do scaleless? First of all, you want to have a snake that eats frozen thawed. They don't have the same armoring as what the anery snakes do. So you don't want to be feeding live whatsoever. That suits me because here where I stay, legally, we're not allowed to feed live. So that already is right up in my zone. Other than that, there is no real difference to keeping. Obviously, you don't want to put as many sharp stuff in an enclosure with a scaleless snake as you normally not care about that too much in a normal scaled snake. But other than that, these guys are super fun. They're a little shy to eat in front of me, so I'm just doing that so I can get them to keep still. You missed there, buddy. There we go. So here up close, you can actually really see the difference between a scaleless anery and a normal scaled anery. You see, whereas this patterning is a lot more undefined, it's a little bit faded, whereas over here on this side, it's just extremely defined. Now, you do get variations in scaleless as well. If you pay attention there to the top side of this animal, completely unscaled. Whereas here on the lower segment of the snake, it's scaled on the top of its back, which is one of the reasons why I took this specific individual, because I just think that looks so incredibly beautiful. Now, as far heterozygous for scaleless, I don't think there are any visual markers. If I look at this individual here, which is a charcoal motley het for scaleless corn snake, I can't see any visual indication that this snake is het for scaleless. So obviously, you're going to have to trust the breeder that you purchase from. Irrelevant, this animal is absolutely beautiful. I would love to have scaleless babies with his patterning. I just think that would look absolutely insane. All right, now take a look at these beautiful snakes. So this is a hypo lavender corn snake. Man, the camera's not doing that justice whatsoever. But I'm hoping eventually to raise these guys up and put them with the scaleless and actually potentially make some het scaleless lavender babies. And then, well, it would be a hit for quite a few stuff, but I mean, then raise those babies up and produce lavender scalelesses, because I do think that would look absolutely mind blowing. I'm going to bring you guys in closer now so that you can actually see these little babies, because they're in my hands. It didn't do much to the visual look of the snake. And then I'm going to have to put on gloves because I want to go to a different rack now, and then I want to show you guys something out of the other rack. I mean, have a look up close with these animals. These are just crazy looking. Absolutely mind-blowing to look at. Every time I see them, I'm just mind-blown. And the thing with lavender is they just get better as they age. So I am beyond excited working with this genetic. I mean, have a look at this sub-adult female lavender. That's just absolutely mind-blowing. The blushing on these animals, everything about these animals is just absolutely ridiculous. I think I might actually go as far as to say lavender is one of my favorite genetics to be working with. It might be competed with a few blood red and a few ultra stuff, but this is just ridiculous. All right, and I think one of the better places to continue on with is with the normal stuff. So this is a normal scaled corn snake. Absolutely beautiful. Everything about this animal is obviously still beautiful. I love normals, by the way. I love normals. But take a look at what it does when you add scaleless to normal. This guy's gonna bite me. That is ridiculous looking. Everything about that is outstanding. On normals, it seems like it completely reduces the patterning and almost it looks like a completely different snake. It looks like a whole new species. And it's just mind-blowing to look at that. Mind-blowing. Here's a close-up comparison of the two. It's mind-blowing. It's absolutely radical how big of a difference there is between the two. Now, an interesting thing to note when it comes to corn snakes is that they still have their lateral scales. So their whole underbelly is still covered with scales to help with locomotion. So no movement is influenced whatsoever. And man, like I said, these are just absolutely incredibly beautiful looking snakes. Everything about them is just stunning. Now, these were actually produced by Tyron from Tyron's Corns and Colubrids. He's down in Cape Town. So if you guys want, I do think he still has some left. Tyron, here's some free promo, bro. Free quality stuff and you get shout outs. No, I'm joking. It's not like this channel's really got that much traction to justify this as a shout out. But let me just give this guy his chow down. So again, like I said, the only real difference to keeping a scaleless corn snake versus a normal corn snake is that you just don't want to feed live. That's it. Because live, there's a big potential of them getting damaged. Other than that, it's an absolute pleasure. No differences. Here's a little better close-up of this animal. He's busy being a dummy. Oi, bro. Oi. Here's your food. Here's your food. You gotta eat your food, man. Or I'll leave it there. You'll take it, Nana. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Alright, so let's talk about pricing. This is a beautiful ghost motley sunspot boy. He's available if anyone is interested at all. Just hit me up. Let's talk about price differences when it comes to scaleless and unscaled animals. It's a phenomenal leap. So let's take, for example, a normal corn snake. Normal corn snake hatchlings cost anywhere between 100 to 150 Rand at extreme cases. A scaled corn snake, I think Tyron sold them at 2 grand. So a scaled normal is 2 grand. That's a phenomenal price difference. Same as for the anery. Anery sell for about 200 to 250 Rand as a normal anery hatchling, whereas a scaleless anery hatchling is anywhere from 2,000 to 2,500 Rand. I've even seen them being sold for 3,000 Rand and still selling. So there is a phenomenal difference in costing when it comes to attaining the animals. Now, what does the scaleless gene do to your projects? Firstly, whatever you put it with, you won't visually see a difference unless your animals are already head scalers or visual scalers. But it does add years to your project in regards to making new scalelesses in the country. Now, there are quite a few scaleless already available in South Africa. At top of my head, I know someone is busy with a Tessera scaleless project, which should be to fruition this year, which I think is going to be absolutely amazing. Then I think Chantal Carpenter, she's got quite a few variety of scaleless. JJ Ward is where I got all my head scaleless babies from. He'll be producing snow scaleless this year, so he's got albino snows and anery scalelesses. So you kind of want to, if you're jumping into the scaleless thing now, put it to some genetics that isn't out there already so that you can kind of stay ahead of the curvature. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Obviously, I'm not going to be telling everyone what we're going to be putting the scaleless stuff to when they come to size. And obviously, when that happens, you guys will see. But until then, we'll be keeping a little hush-hush. But I mean, when it comes to scaleless, there's so much that I can just imagine looking fantastic with it. Like take, for example, this ultra female. I can just imagine that in scaleless being absolutely mind-blowing. Now, obviously, you can Google these things and you can go check them out. I just don't. I kind of like to pursue these things to see them either in person or to produce them myself, so I can say like, yeah, check this out. But I can just imagine that Scaleless to this would be beyond. Oh, no, I'm drooling already. My mouth is salivating already just thinking about how freaking ridiculously beautiful that can be. Even, for example, to this, an Ultramel stripe motley. I mean, if you'd put Scaleless to this, I can just... Can you imagine the potential of what that gene stack would look like? I think it'll just be absolutely amazing. Now, the fun thing with corn snakes is that there is quite a lot of variety for you to breed. So if you're not doing the Scaleless stuff, there are a lot of other stuff that you can be doing. Like I, for example, will only be doing Scaleless in the next 2 to 3 years. But until then, I'm raising some stuff up that I am excited for to produce. Like, for example, this beautiful Ultramel stripe. Man, this animal is gorgeous. The camera is really not doing this any justice. I'm trying as best I can to show you guys the colors on this animal, but it's ridiculous. All right, guys, from Undisputed Reptiles, you guys know I love you. You guys know I appreciate you. Like always, have an absolute good one.